Up next, my dog Young Thug. Thugga Thugga. So Thugga Thugga is in trial and it's costing him probably an insane amount of money. Because it's one of the longest trials in Georgia history, if I'm not mistaken. But
Damn.
yeah, it's the judge that everybody is talking about right now. I don't know if y'all familiar with it, but I'm gonna go ahead and play this. It's a little lengthy, but I'm gonna play this and then we're gonna get there.
I don't think Mr. Adams is back. I have
He is. He's right behind you.
sorry, I have a motion that I need to make outside the presence of Mr. Cope.
All right, you can make it right now. Is he out?
Let me know when you get down to
Where, is Mr. Copeland out?
No, he's a fence.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah, come on now. Don't come in the courtroom. Come when you get your license. All right.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
The way I understand my constitutional obligations, pursuant to the 6th and 14th Amendments of the United States Constitution, the corresponding sections of the Georgia Constitution, I'm required to make a full and complete statement to the court. For the record, and if God forbid this goes up on appeal for the appellate courts or another tribunal, commission, or administrative body, I was told, based upon information and belief, that when we arrived at 8:30, 9 o'clock today, we did not come into your courtroom until almost 11:30. And what I found out just recently, this is not waived, is that supposedly in chambers, this honorable court reporter at times, honorable court at times, district attorney or district attorneys from the DA's office, as well as investigators, sheriff deputies, Mr. Copeland and his counsel met together. None of the defense team, to my knowledge, was aware that this was going on. It was told, based upon information belief, that it was told to the district attorneys that Mr. Copeland intended to plead the Fifth Amendment. Then I was told, based upon information belief, that Adrian Love, the lawyer for Mr. Copeland, and this court were together, and Ms. Love made representations that John Melnick supposedly spoke with some attorneys for the accused and wrote an email to Ms. Love, to Adrian Love, stating that Mr. Melnick does not represent the witness, and that Mr. Melnick wrote an email saying F you, and then somehow that email was CC'd to me. That never...
Mr. Steele, can I interrupt you for just a second? I'm kind of disturbed because that's ex parte. All that was an ex parte conversation. How did you find out about any of that?
Well, I'm disturbed too. And the reason
I'm asking you a question. How did you find out about it?
I'm going to ask you the question.
Okay.
Scuttle, if you look at SCUDDER versus State, which is 298 Georgia, 438, it's Division 2, 782 Southeast 2D 638, 2016. Our highest court says when a court meets, because Mr. Copeland comes in, meets with the court supposedly made statements, which I assume is somewhat accurate based upon what you just said. We're entitled, Mr. Williams and every other person wrongly charged here is entitled under the Georgia Constitution to be present. That's a critical stage.
It's just like when you meet with me and you and Mr. Adams meet with me and others have met with me. It's those were ex parte for a lot of different other reasons, but I will certainly note that for purposes of record.
Well, I'm going forward. What I was told was that Mr. Copeland said...
And you haven't answered my question yet.
I'm not going to answer that question.
You're not?
No, I will not answer that question.
Why will you not answer that question?
Because I want to make sure that what I say is accurate, and I'm not trying to get anybody else.
I'm asking you, how did you get this information?
I'm not telling the court. What I'm saying is based upon information.
Okay, well, listen, if you don't tell me how you got this information, then you and I are going to have some problems.
We can have this. I have problems right now.
Okay, I know. Look, I don't want to know about your problems, okay, at this point in time. All I'm asking you at this point in time is, how did you come upon this information? Look, if the case gets reviewed, the record's going to be available for our appellate court and for whatever reason. But it's disturbing that how somehow you have surreptitiously gotten information in regards to the court's private ex parte conversations with a party. I mean,
a witness who was sworn in Friday The court's telling, this is what I was told. If this is not true, not true. This court
Mr. Steele,
handed
ask
Mr.
me.
Copeland.
Tell me how you
perjury.
got. Tell me how you got the information.
Listen, whatever you want to do.
Tell me how you got the information. Then we can go ahead and go forward.
I'm not going to say that. What I'm going to say is this. I was told, and I hope this concerns the court.
It concerns me that you have proprietary information.
Why is it proprietary?
Or information that you should not be having that was ex parte.
Why?
With a party.
Why?
State of Georgia.
How about the witness? How about Mr. Copeland, who supposedly announced he's not testifying and he'll sit for 2 years, and then supposedly this honorable court, or excuse me, let me rephrase that. This court supposedly said, I can hold you until the end of this trial. Ms. Hilton supposedly said, actually, all of the defendants and then all 26 people are disposed of. If that's true, what this is coercion, witness intimidation, ex parte communications that we have a constitutional right to be present for. So I understand that you're upset towards me, but I don't know what I did.
Mr. Steele, I still want to know, how did you come upon this information? Who told you?
What I want to know is, why wasn't I there? Why,
sir, I'm going to hold you in contempt if you don't tell me who tell me who this information was coming from. I don't want to be held in contempt. Well, I'm not answering that question. That's attorney-client privilege information. I am not attorney-client privilege. Unless you were in my chambers, that's the only way you can figure out.
I tell you
what. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. If you don't tell me, if you don't tell me who it is, I'm going to put you. I'm going to put you in contempt because that is not attorney-client privilege.
Attorney work product privilege. I am not.
How did you get that information supposedly from my chambers? Did somebody tell you?
I'm not. You should have told me.
You got 5 minutes.
Well, I don't need it. I want to continue.
You got 5 minutes?
This is what I was told. Mr. Copeland made statements that he admitted to killing Don.
So,
what the fuck?
Looked like the lawyer stood on business.
That nigga got naked. He started taking the suit jacket off.
Lawyer stood on business. The judge stormed out of court. What's your thoughts?
I think, because I know more, I saw the next day about this. That lawyer, like, I would have robbed that nigga because he's a black nigga, but that nigga's crooked as fuck, nigga. That white chick that put Fannie Willis in her place is this dude's lawyer, and she ripped
wait, what? Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
that. There's some organization, and it's like she's the head of, like, they defend defense attorneys. And like 25 lawyers showed up in this dude's defense the next day, and that judge wouldn't let him in. They're like, nah, you can watch this shit from upstairs. You're not coming to my courtroom. And she ripped that judge in half today. It happened today.
Whoa.
That blonde chick, that fucking...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
She ripped that nigga in half. Yep. But he's the judge. He can do what the fuck he want.
I think this whole system is corrupt, bro. And
it's all Fulton County, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
And you know, the thing about it is that for a person like me that is so against some of the most toxic parts of our culture, and I was kind of talking about this on the Millionaire Morning Show this morning, I have to be objective and consistent with, before we can hold the culture accountable, or before you can start to accuse somebody of something, you have to be above board yourself. And you got to get the beam out of your own eye. And there's nothing that we should hold accountable than the system by which we subjected to. So if the federal government, which is supposed to be holding me accountable, is corrupt, and clearly they're corrupt, they got to free them. They got to let them go.
The lady said that she was saying how that he doesn't have to answer your questions, and of course they were spitting their legal jargon, and the judge goes, "Give me case law that this has happened before." She gave that nigga like 5 fucking cases, and he said, and then he goes, "Give me something more recent than 1994." She said, "I can't because it never happens."
Yeah, 100%.
You the first one, my nigga, in a minute.
Which makes it 10 times worse.
Yep.
And again, I believe that it's innocent until proven guilty in the court of law amongst a jury of your peers. And if the very people that is supposed to be presiding over this case is corrupt and he's more concerned about how you got the information and whether or not he was supposed to do that in the first place, it's too many red flags, bro. It's too
Yeah.
many red flags, and there's no way in the world that you can, in good conscience, put this man in jail for probably the rest of his life without first questioning whether or not you have a judicial responsibility to hold yourself above board and accountable. And it's too many people every single day that go to jail or get football numbers or unjustly are jailed on a regular basis, depending on our justice system, to be above board, and it's not. It's not. Prosecutors on a regular basis get their numbers up, and they use people as an opportunity in order for them to have greater opportunities in the future. And I listen, man. Fulton County is trash. Atlanta trash. Georgia and all that
Trash.
surrounding area is trash. And if the judge
Hmm.
himself cannot hold himself accountable and he's more concerned about how you found the information and they're gonna find him in contempt, I think that it's disgusting for me. And I have to be real. There's no way that I am ever going to support this man being convicted regardless of whatever the outcome is. There's no way that I could ever support this man being convicted or even being retried because this is already the longest trial that we'd have ever seen. I'm just
Yeah,
not
and they
rolling with it,
said
bro. I
it's
think that they got to let him go. They got to free that man.
they said at the earliest next summertime, bro.
That's insane.
Hmm. Yep,
That's
they said that.
insane, bro.
Because now you can't go on because this guy doesn't have representation anymore because the motherfucker in jail.
I'll be honest, like anything with courts, I'm completely against it, man. I'm gonna be very honest. I just don't. I just feel like any aspect of the judicial system is corrupt. It is it's
I'm
tainted, man. Like,
I'm thankful it's tainted because like I've been in some shit and my lawyer fucked me to get me out of jail. Nigga. He fucked the damn prosecution, the DA, to give me some to lower sentence. Nigga. He was like, I took that bitch out and fucked her for you. You better thank me. I was like, what the fuck?
But see, that's the
that's
thing, man.
that's corruption. That's
Whenever you
corruption.
got people, and I mean,
Yeah,
it works
it
for us, right?
worked.
It works for
Yeah, it
some
worked for
people.
you, but that's corruption.
But for some people, it may work the complete opposite. It's that
Mother,
life
Yeah,
is literally a yin and a yang, right?
yeah, yeah. Like
So
me, like my shit. I went up against the largest corporation in the world. You know what I'm saying? And like, I did not get. I could not get my just due. I got a permanent injury, and they can't pay me for that. They didn't pay me for that.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that shit is all corrupt, and everything pointed to, oh yeah, all they kept saying was the same thing every time I did my little hearing. They kept saying the same shit. You know, they never proved anything. All they had to do was say the same shit over and over again. There's no question that I got hurt at this place. They ain't give a fuck.
yeah,
That shit is
hmm.
corrupt. Anything in the judicial system is corrupt.
that's true.
All
And I'm gonna be real with you. Even outside of Young Thug, when you got money, it's different. In most instances, unless they're trying to
Yeah,
prove a point or use you as a
you
sacrifice,
you
like
get
they
away with
did
some
with
shit.
Cosby or something like that. But when
Yep.
you got money, it's different, bro. I don't worry about no regular stuff that people worry about. People be getting tense if the police get behind them. I get relieved. And
I
sometimes
ain't
they
got
be
no
my friends, bro.
issues.
I done had cops come up here and tour my place, bro. Like I literally have, I can't tell y'all who, but I got cards and I got friends in very, very, very high places that when some stuff jump off or if something happens, I could just make a phone call sometimes. And I make sure that I keep them taken care of in my back pocket or whatever. I keep lawyers on retainer and all of that type of stuff. It's different for people when you got resources. Like when you have a
You supposed
significant
to do
amount of
that.
resources in order to make sure people, yeah, man, like everywhere I go, I make sure that everybody taken care of. I tip big, and it's a reason for that shit. And so, but I know that this judge is corrupt. This
All
judge
of
is
them are.
absolutely corrupt.
All of them are.
But how
Yeah,
can we
Cause
trust this?
think about it. In order, they're politicians.
That's true.
In order to be there, You
That
gotta
is
do
true, Slimmy.
favors to even leverage where you get.
And
All
they get voted
politicians are
in.
corrupt.
They get voted in.
Yeah, all politicians are corrupt because they had to leverage something. They had to give something up to get where they're at. They
Yeah.
got to do all this what is it?
Lobbying.
Lobbying, thank you. They got to do all this lobbying to build up for their campaign, and they like, oh well, when you do this, I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna give you $1 million, and when you get in there, I'm gonna grease your palms so you can put my little bid in. Do what I need you to do. All
Yeah.
this shit is corruption.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
and
true.
people, it's all corruption. It's all corruption. That
We
shit
all
go all the
maybe we
way up.
all corrupted though.
Maybe so.
Maybe
Maybe
I
we
think
all
a
so.
little.
corrupted.
I think a little bit because I think if all of our employers look at our text messages, we got some shit in there that ain't gonna fly.
Not really. I don't text. That's the thing that they be holding me accountable for, that I don't text back fast enough.